And you're sure you didn't want one?
Yeah.
Hey, buddy. Up there's the Catholic Church.
Oh.
That was built in 1840, so it's one of our most recent churches.
OK. 那个教堂是最近建造的，是1840年。
Oh. Whoops! I forgot to unclip Jack. Sorry, buddy. Oh. You know, before the Catholic Church was built, Catholics would travel to Bridgewater to go to church. Okay, Jack. Now for us, Bridgewater is about 25 minutes.
Okay.
They had to walk or they had to take a horse, and so for them it was about half a day's journey just to get to church. And do you like the top of the steeple up there?
Yeah.
Do you know what kind of fish that is? Well, that's a codfish.
OK.
Yeah. And do you know why they put him up there?
No.
Just for the halibut.
OK. 它那个上面有一个小鲈鱼，然后应该是海鸥吗？就是他们会来，就开那个玩笑。
This here used to be a mercantile, a store.
OK.
The store was downstairs and the family who owned it lived upstairs. And they had 12 kids,
哦
all girls.
OK. 他们家有12个姑娘。
哦，113号有12个姑娘，
Yeah. And you
她们
know,
一定很相爱。
the Presbyterian Church with the fish on top actually houses the oldest Presbyterian congregation in Canada.
OK.
Oh, it's as old as Lunenburg, 1753. But they built the church 1770 when their first minister came.
OK. 这下
You're looking down the street, Jack. Can you look up the street? Look the other way.
还有金牌。
So, Jack is also need to like.
Is it okay,
stop
Jack?
When we see.
At the stop signs?
Yeah.
Yes. And did you notice he just looked both ways before he crossed? Yeah, no, he's just another vehicle. So he follows the same rules as a car, except sometimes I don't stop him at stop signs when it's going uphill just because it's a little harder on him to get going.
OK.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, like, how long does Jack work for the tour?
Well, he and I work together, and we work 3 days on, 2 days off. But it's a full day on the 3 days on. So we get in here at about 9:15 in the morning, down to the waterfront, because we walk in from where he lives about 15 minutes walk away. And we're here until about 7:30, 8 o'clock. Yeah.
这个教堂就比较老一点。
So, how about this church?
This is the Lutheran Church.
OK.
So that actually houses the oldest Lutheran congregation in Canada.
OK.
Founded 1772, although the building is a little more recent. It's about 125 years old, I believe, because they actually outgrew the building before and the building before that and had to rebuild bigger.
OK.
Yeah.
这个教堂我曾经见到过。
Come on, Jack. Jack, what are you doing? Oh. See the water down there?
Yeah.
That's the back harbor. So Lunenburg's kind of a peninsula between two harbors, the front and the back, and the ships used to come in both. Yeah. And this little house here is thought to be the oldest house in Lunenburg.
OK.
When the town was founded, 1753, this was already here.
OK. 他说这个镇在1753年建造的时候，这个 house 就已经在这个镇上了，所以被认为是最老的一个 house。
Yeah.
对。
And do you want to take a guess how old you think this one is?
那我猜一下它是多老的房子
100岁。
？Maybe 100.
100 years? Well, it's from 2011. This one here was 1885.
Oh,
We
OK
call it the wedding cake house.
OK
Lots of layers and pretty pink frosting.
OK。他
哦
说它叫 wedding cake house 是因为它有很多层，就是所以会管它叫那个 wedding cake. So it's like for a style of the house called the wedding cake.
Well, we just call this one the wedding cake house because it's so fancy.
OK，就是这一家他会叫它是婚礼蛋糕房，因为它看起来比较。
我下去拍2张。
Yeah.
Could she like take some pictures?
Okay, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. The Lunenburg Academy down here, built in 1895 as a public school.
OK, public school. 对，是这个小镇的一个学校，一个公立学校。
它正在修建吗？
So right now it's like renewing for the next year.
Kind of. It was a public school until about 7 or 8 years ago when they built the new school.
Okay.
And now it's got a few other things in it. What this is it's a National Historic Site.
Okay.
And they received a grant last summer so they've been doing quite a bit of work on the outside because the building is all wood and so it
Okay.
takes pretty constant maintenance.
对，因为它现在是一个历史
His name
的
is
一个
Jack.
景点，所以它需要翻修，然后迎接夏天，会有很多游客过来。
Doing well.
因为学生不是很少吗？
So
You got it.
so in the town, are there many students?
Some.
Some.
I'm not exactly sure how many there are because I was homeschooled and so I didn't go to
Okay.
public school. But there's some. They built the new school, as I say, over in Newtown, Lunenburg, for grades 1 to 9. And there's a number of students there. And then the high schoolers will go to Bridgewater these days.
Okay.
In this building now, there's a music school.
Music school.
Yeah,
Okay.
which is actually by invitation only. It's quite prestigious. So, and they'll also be moving the library in here.
Okay.
Yeah.
它现在是一个音乐的一个学校，在这个地方。So you mentioned you go to the home school. Like, how about will you get diploma?
Well, it's not quite the same. You don't get a graduation, like you don't get your graduation certificate, but it is recognized as an education. Okay, Jack. So there aren't any tests or anything, but you do have to submit a report at the beginning and the end of the year of what you did. So my mother homeschooled us 10 kids, and I loved it. I think more people should do it, but you know that's just me.
So how about this area? Like,
This here, the dead center of town.
yeah. So, are there any like?
These date right back to the 1700s. So yeah, and it extends right down the slope, and it's still in use today. So it's the cemetery of the area. Although the Catholics have their own cemetery over beside their church, and there is a very old cemetery down to one side of the harbor that actually still has some Acadians in it too.
Okay. So this is like for local people.
Yes, yes. And do you know why people living in China can't be buried in the cemetery?
No.
Because they're still alive.
Okay.
This used to be a Baptist church. Then it was a funeral home. And now somebody lives there. And the best thing about living there is your nice quiet neighbors.
Yeah.
And there's some beautiful stained glass in the window there. Yeah. This one's a little newer, so I'm not sure. Do you like the little door down there? Do you know what that was for?
这个房子坏了。
Like I don't know, like for.
It was a coal door, so that they would shovel coal through it into the basement and use it to heat the home with.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That way they didn't have to track the dirty coal through the kitchen.
Okay.
This here was our town hall and courthouse, built in 1775. But they built a new town hall, so they sold this to the Anglican Church in 1902 for $100. Oh, and they could barely afford it.
So this is the old city hall.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So the new one is down.
Yeah, and we'll get
Okay.
by it in a few minutes.
Okay.
Okay, Jack. Yeah, but as I say, now it's the G Jack. Now it's the church hall.
它原先的市政厅，应该这么说。
And here's St. John's Anglican. Whoops.
So I found a lot of people take pictures of this church.
Yes,
So is that because the decoration or?
partly. It's also the oldest church in Lunenburg. It was originally built 1754, just a year after the town was founded. And it's the second oldest Anglican church in Canada after St. Paul's in Halifax.
是这个镇上最古老的教堂。
这个教堂
对，是在这个镇建立的1年之后，然后建立了这个教堂，然后它的装饰也比较美，所以很多人都会在这儿拍照。
好，我们也去看看。
Do you like our lawn ornament?
Oh.
Beautiful, isn't it? It's a cannon. See, they used to drag loads up the hill by horses or by oxen.
Okay.
But in the wintertime, these roads get slippery. And when they went around the corner, the load would slide into the guy's house. He got sick of fixing those corner boards, so he planted a cannon.
Okay.
Goes 6 feet down, wheels and all. But you know, there's something else important about this house, and it's up there behind those 4 windows.
Okay.
That is the site of our very first indoor bathroom.
Okay.
And there's our fish again. Okay, Jack. Yep. And do you like the orange lamps down this street?
Yeah.
Those are replicas of the oil lamps that used to be all over town.
Okay.
So back in the day, it was the police chief's job to go around the whole town and light those, and to put them out in the morning too. Yeah. Yeah. Get up, Jack. Himmelman's down here used to be a harness shop. And this here was the police chief's house, built in 1858. And here's our new town hall, built in 1891.
这是他们新的市政。
See the bars on the windows?
Yeah.
Used to be some prison space in there too. And this was actually in, whoa, Jack. I'm okay. Okay, bub, get up. He just was wondering what that was.
Okay.
This was actually in the TV show Haven. It was the police station, I believe. Here's our World War memorials. Those are for First and Second World Wars.
Okay.
And the bandstand is a replica of the one that stood there in the 1800s. And actually that whole center area was set apart right from the beginning of the town to be a commons area for gatherings.
So, like more and more tourists coming here.
Yes.
Summer.
Yes, definitely. Oh. Okay, Jack. This house over here belonged to our first mayor, Augustus Wolff. He became mayor in 1888. Before that, the British still governed us. And this house belonged to one of our first doctors, Dr. Charles Bowman. It was built in 1830. And by all that gingerbread and the beautiful stained glass above the door,
Yeah.
it looks like he did all right.
So these 3 houses, I always notice their color. So,
We call this street our UNESCO fresco.
oh yeah, I remember the street name.
Yeah, yeah. People like to have fun with their colors, as we were saying earlier. Oh. Okay, Jack. $1700 subway. This was built in 1790.
Okay.
It used to be a hotel, the Hammett Hotel.
Okay.
And this belonged to a dry goods merchant in 1868. Or 1863, sorry. Do you guys like ice cream?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you been to Sweet Treasures?
Yeah.
It's homemade with homemade waffle cones. And there's a beautiful piece of stained glass above the door there.
Oh yeah.
And we're back to the Smuggler's Cove Inn and the shortest street again. Hello! Jack's gonna run you over. Do you know why this street is so short? Oh.
That because I don't know.
Well, it's because it's not very long.
Okay.
Okay, Jack. Actually, it's because this didn't used to be a road. This was all part of the dockyards, and there were actually train tracks running through here back in the day. So you had ships coming in and out of the harbor, train tracks running along here, and a lot of these buildings used to be warehouses or rooming houses or places for the fishermen and the sailors. Yeah. Have you been over to see the Blue Nose?
Yeah, we just go there, but they said there will be like government officers coming, so.
Okay. Do you know how she got her name?
No.
Well, did you know that I'm a Blue Noser? All Nova Scotians are called Blue Nosers, and the ship, the Blue Nose, was named after us.
Okay.
But we were named during the salt fishing days. See, the fishermen, they'd go out fishing all summer and they'd pack the fish down in the holes with salt. That's why they call it the salt fishing days. But their wives would knit their work mittens and they would dye them with blueberries because the blueberries were abundant around here, around Nova Scotia. So the men got out to sea and they got wet mittens and a runny nose. And
Oh, okay, I see. So it's all about blueberries.
Yep. Yep. I see that you definitely like taking pictures. Have you been across the harbor?
Yeah, but I don't know how to drive to.
You just go out this way and you go straight at the stop sign and then you take just about every left to get over there. It's you can go right up to the clubhouse. They're nice, friendly folk over there, and it's the best view of the town.
Okay.
Hello. See the paddy wagon?
Yeah.
This here used to be the old Lunenburg jail. Oh, but you know the inmates there had a pretty major complaint, and that was the food. Okay, Jack. They were fed lobster every single day of the week.
Okay.
And they got so sick of it. The mayor of the town finally took pity on them. Oh, he passed a law they could only be fed lobster 3 days a week. Okay, Jack.
大多是在哈法上学的学生。
Well, I hope you enjoyed your tour.
Yeah.
I'm in which box? I can't remember. Oh well. Jack. Oh. Gian. Oh. Well, I hope you enjoyed yourselves. Stay seated just 1 second. I'll hook him up here.
Okay, thank you.
Oh. What are you in such a tear and rush for, Jack?